Oh, hey, sorry about that. Thank you, Colorado Jam. All right, hold on. I just gotta log into the computer here. Can anybody tell us how many viewers we have? Welcome, part-time friend. Welcome to the OLU Cosmic Ray Monitor. Could you comment? Let us know if there's sound now. Anyway, check out one of our favorite shows on YouTube called Yacht Rock. It explains some of the mythos behind some of the insane music that came out in the late 70s through the mid 80s. Totally hilarious. Let's watch a clip about Hall & Oates.
Turn up the power. So what are you gonna write a disco song about? What are you gonna do, Sarah? Smile? What are you listening to the radio?
Anyway, super hilarious show. Highly recommended. Yacht Rock. Check it out. Philip Mills. Now available in HD. All right, enough of that stuff. Now, let's look at the current situation. With the magnetosphere movies. We're going to access it from my favorites because I'm not scared. Take a look at geospace. All right, so there's the current state of affairs. Loading up now with the pressure in the magnetosphere. Let me let that load, and I will be right back. Again, I apologize for the lateness. The schedule got changed, and YouTube software was a failure. Be right back. All right, sorry about that. Running a little bit late due to the Christmas holiday. Somebody who will remain unnamed seemed to have forgotten what day it was. So you couldn't have made that one up. Somebody thought it was Thursday, but it's actually Wednesday. Just getting the USB hub activated here. All right. So we got some increases in the magnetosphere there going on. Not super exciting, but we got some new delightful data. Just get this thing plugged into some power. All right. So, yep, somebody thought it was Thursday and it's actually Wednesday. Whatever. It's all good. So there's the current state of affairs. We got a shift in the heliospheric current sheet. And I'll show you the prediction here. And then we'll show you the near real-time information. By the way, we are on Twitch also. You can find us on minds.com/smAshomAsh, Instagram.com/smAshomAsh. So basically what we're looking at is this right here. You can see the heliospheric current sheet is this line swirling around. And this goes from 12/23 through January 2nd. We got this shift. You can see if you look at this arc over here, you can see this shift in the sheet from primarily negative to primarily positive polarity. And I'm just logging into Twitch right now. So if anybody's on there, I'll be able to speak with you in a moment. And I should also be able to type now on YouTube. Again, sorry for the delay. We have found some fascinating data. All right, excellent. All right, so we see all that stuff. That's all fine. Let's look at, I heard there's some cosmic ray flux going on. Let's take a quick look at that. Little spike at Mexico City on the day. I apologize for the orientation. Wanted to just take a quick look at the normal weather sites that we look at. Take a look at the visible satellite. Speed that up. Can anybody comment how many people are in the chat? Good morning, Integrity and Karma, Rod Wayne, Colorado Jan, Keith Fullerton, part-time friend. Cheers. Thanks for joining. Here's your NASA GOES visible satellite. Nothing too special going on there, really. All right, so 6 watching, that's fine. We are going to cover this in tomorrow's regular video also, but we just wanted to take a look at some extra stuff here real quick in the meantime. Here's one of our favorite cosmic ray sites. I heard there was a spike in Athens, so let's have a look at that. Looks like it came back down, no real big deal there. Anyway, let's get to the feature presentation here. We've found some new data today, some great models of the magnetosphere. And this is the Gong 2. So if you head to this site, which we will have links, we'll put links in here afterwards. But we have perfect models here. Let's look at the top view of the ecliptic plane in terms of the magnetosphere. The heliospheric magnetosphere, by the way. Now, this time frame is from December 22nd through December 26th, and it is basically in real time. Give you an idea of what's going on. You can see Earth at the bottom. And the heliospheric current sheet. Now, the Earth just passed through a rift and a polarity change, and it's about to happen again. You can clearly see it. It's just about to pass through. Magnetic connection is going to change. So there you can see it. There's going to be a magnetic rift and then a reconnection. Let's look at some other views, and then we're going to go look at some older data. Here's the line of sight ecliptic plane. Same period of time, but this will give you an idea of what it looks like from the Earth, as opposed to from above. So, magnetic connection coming. Again, this is from 1222 until the current time. Let that play through twice more. See on your left, you see the incoming opposite field of the heliospheric current sheet. We've also got the synoptic plane plot. Now, this is the current state of affairs. There's increased field density here. This is approaching. There's going to be a rift. And that's going to be a new cosmic ray increase, just like this one was, which is what we see earlier on the models. Now, let's look at something else, because we are able to run data from any date we want. So, my keyboard is too big, and we're going to have to deal with a little bit of screen orientation again. Keep in mind, we're not set up to stream this on a computer yet, but let's look at what happened on 11/11 through 11/15. So that's all you do. You put in the dates you want. You click load. There you go. 116 images loaded. And here's what the heliospheric current sheet looked like back then. All right. When we hit play, you'll see some crazy reverberations. And that right there is the cause of the events that you saw on the Earth. Now, let's do another run on that. We're going to move that forward to include all of the dates. Whoops. All of the dates from 11/9 to the current. Keep in mind, this is the first time I'm seeing this myself. So we'll let that load. Whoopsies. Too many files. All right. Let's go through. Crap. Let's go through to 12/10. I think that might be acceptable. Let's see. All right, perfect. Now I've got from November 9th through the 10th of December. Hit play. Zoom out a little bit so you can see the date stamps. I'm just going to let that play through for a minute. All the date stamps should be visible, and that should be the data that people are looking for. November 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, now into December. And now it's going to repeat. We'll let that play through one more time. We will have links to this data set in tomorrow's video. You'll be able to make this same kind of a movie for basically any period of time. Not exactly sure what period of time that is, because I only recently started looking through this. I have so many shortcuts saved from so much research that it takes forever to go through them all. So while we're here, let's run a similar one from line of sight perspective. So from 11/10 to 12/10, one month of this data from line of sight. Again, sorry for the orientation issues. We don't really edit this stuff. We try to get it out there as quickly as possible, as it is a bit what you'd call time sensitive. And we'll play that one for you from line of sight, same period of time, allowing timestamps to be visible. Note the way the fields jump around nearly instantaneously. Magnetic fields do not travel at the speed of light. And there's the refresh point. We'll let that play through one more time. You can see the southern polar magnetic field is dominating, as the green is the northern polar field. And the blue line represents the average. Now the green field rolling in. And each time you see these in the foreground, does represent a crossing of the heliospheric current sheet. Easy to detect by looking at the magnetic lines. What we've got here is a data set of the heliospheric current sheet by looking at the magnetic lines. We're looking at a time frame from 1110 to 1210. And since you just got here, I'll let this play through a second time fresh just for you. Does it matter? And yeah, it matters. Keep in mind there is a small rift every time a crossover occurs, and that does account for your cosmic ray flux spikes. You could actually tie them together quite well to the crossovers in the heliospheric current sheet. And again, fortunately, the cosmic ray flux is not as high as it was in 2009 to 2010, according to most monitors. Let us move on to other things. Let's look at the regular old space weather news data, space weather data news, weather news space data. I need a desktop site. There we go. And it looks like we're entering into a coronal hole wind stream, if the data serves me. Tiny little X-ray flux spike there caused by the active region, which has recently risen over the eastern limb. Cheers, integrity, and karma. Have fun. No uptick yet in the solar wind speed. Magnetometer is rising. KP is back up to 1. So, now this appears to be characteristic of a very small coronal hole wind stream. I think most of that missed the planet. If a lot of it hit the planet, the incoming protons would have made this really dip down, but we don't see that very much. So it would be safe to say that the coronal hole wind stream is basically complete and that it was weak in the first place. Next, the F2 layer is looking a little discharged around the equator. So again, you're looking for a ionospheric charge disparity here around this area as the sun moves in, or as the Earth rotates in, whatever way you want to look at it. I guess it depends on if you believe the Earth's flat or if the Earth's round, or an oblate spheroid, or whatever you believe. But that's happening in the ionosphere. And yeah, so we're going to feature this in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's regular, like, produced video, I guess you'd call it. And for those of you who just joined us, here's what the heliosphere currently looks like. Heliospheric current sheet, that is. And let's do a little animated run here, just to give you an idea of what's currently happening. Let's go back to the 10th. Since we ran the last video to the 10th, we'll run this one from the 10th. This is how you do it. Just press load. Again, this is the Gong 2. You can go look at this all you like. Just let that load. Hit play. And there's your timestamps. Just zoom in a little bit. There you go. You can see There's a rift right there that we just went through. And there's another rift just about to hit. That should signal another cosmic ray flux increase. But as we cross the field, which we will do shortly, we'll have a polarity change there, and so on and so forth. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're getting interested in it. It seems like it's some kind of mysterious dark matter of astronomy, even though it's the brightest thing in the sky, aka the sun, the Rosetta Stone of all astronomy. We're using it to calculate things like Cepheid variable redshifts, and we don't even understand how our own sun works. Take an astronomy class, you will be amazed at how many questions will not be answered. Hey, how come the solar spectra is continuous, unlike a gaseous plasma? Hey, what about sunspots? Why does the sun exhibit solid body rotation? What about the granules? What about the sun's magnetic field? A million reasons why the sun isn't made out of a gaseous plasma. Oh, geez. Howard, go. See you, Howard. Maybe we'll make a produced video this afternoon about this data here, because this is really one of the most important instruments everybody should be looking at every day. So hopefully everything works out good for you. Safe travels. So for everybody that watches daily, this is going to be a new feature on the channel. This will be on there every day. The current run of this. You will have links. We're not going to go through and put links in this because, well, this is my Sunday. My work week, I typically have off Tuesday and Wednesday, which is why I usually stream stuff on days like Tuesday and Wednesday. We will continue studying the magnetosphere. Welcome to the heliospheric current sheet. By the way, seriously, you have to watch Yacht Rock. It is the funniest thing. When I was about 6 years old, I heard music on the radio that I hated. And I went out of my way to ask somebody who the band was on 2 separate occasions. And those bands were Steely Dan and Air Supply. Yacht Rock, making fun of Kenny Loggins. Making fun of all kinds of people. And oh man, is it good. Here we got him making fun of Jimmy Buffett.
What the fuck is going on here?
Oh my gosh, watch your language. Oh, my virgin ears. All right, let's see him make fun of Jimmy Buffett a little bit. Show you a clip. Here we got some parrot heads.
Rock and roll. Only Jimmy Buffett music here. It's the law.
But Jimmy Buffett sucks crap.
Private concert time!
Super.
That sounds good.
So, what's the smell of Jimmy Buffett? What's the signature that he leaves behind? Well, let's find out.
It's mellow, but not smooth. Kind of shitty. Jimmy Buffett.
Yacht Rock on YouTube. Highly recommended. Oh, geez. We got people going into seizures now. Sorry about that. Yeah, so also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos. We're all the way up to 736 subscribers. Geez, if we could only figure out something useful to talk about. Who thinks we can get to 1,000? Can we get to 1,000? You think so? I don't know. Jeez. So yeah, Yacht Rock. That's a good one. And let's just close things out with a message of hope. Don't worry about the magnetosphere. It's a little bit too powerful for human beings to control. Just embrace the fact that you're inside of it. Notice the change. For those of you who've been watching the whole time, notice the changes in the magnetotail. Completely different than how it looked just a week ago. We got some more plasma density coming in. And guess what? That's an indication that cosmic ray flux is going to decrease. Is it going to decrease over time? Well, we hope so, because we'd like to see solar activity increase. Also, we're hoping the planet gets warmer because it's much cooler than it was in the Minoan warm period and the Roman warm period and the Viking warm period and the medieval warm period and the Maunder minimum and the Dalton minimum and the Dalton minimum. We don't want it that cold. That will kill a massive portion of the population. Check out the current sheet is about to go from up here to down here. If it hasn't already done so. It may have already done so. It's pretty impossible to tell because out in front of this bow shock, keep in mind, there are multiple weaker layers, just like the F2 ionosphere layer. So, in any case, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Please share on your social media. Tell your friends about space weather. I bought my mom a copy of Weatherman's Guide to the Sun by Ben Davidson, 2nd edition. Because, hey, it's a hell of a coffee table book. If you can tell people how the sun works. If they say, hey, I took college astronomy, and you can say, are you aware that the sun works this way? And they go, huh? That's blasphemy. You win. And they win too, because they've learned something. Anyway, cheers. Thanks for tuning in. Produced video on this tomorrow. I love CO2 also. CO2 is the building block of life. It really is. So let's close things out on this view. Check it out. There's the magnetic field lines coming in from the Earth, coming into the Earth. Let's get all geocentric with it. We won't even say the Earth's flat. Folks, the Earth's flat, space is fake. And I've just been making these videos to draw you in. Hey, have you ever taken dry ice and put it in a glass with something you're going to drink and then compress it with your hand so it gets carbonated on the spot and then drink it? And don't drink down the dry ice cubes because they'll freeze your throat. Anyway, see this line? It's going to connect over here And when it does, the magnetosphere is going to change. Hopefully, it won't involve catastrophic earthquakes and volcanoes. Fingers crossed. Cheers, everybody. Best wishes.